Hello, everyone. Happy Halloween. Yes, I recorded this session on the day of Halloween and also going to, podcast on the Halloween evening. So I would like to talk about something, Halloween related. And I discussed with my friend. They said, well, could you talk about a house or something related to death and maybe ghost or something, wiki funny things. And I was kept thinking, what should I talk about? And then I say, well, it's been a while. Haven't talked about the fixed stars, and one of my most loved subject is fixed stars, stars in the sky. So I was thinking, should I talk about some, wicked stars in the sky? Well, and I think most of you will think about maybe Algo. Algo would be the one of the most wicked stars. There's another fixed stars are also related to the a little bit, wicked and murder theme that would be scared in the constellation Pegasus. That would be interesting to talk about, but today I decided to talk about another fixed stars, and it's my own personal study. Um, don't get me wrong, there is a lot of astrologers start this so-called star or cluster, but I like to see it from a different view. This is Beehive Cluster, Messier 44, or some people call it Mangers. So why it related to Halloween? Well, let's begin. So let me share my presentation here, okay? So here we are. We have my presentation. So I'm going to talk about the Beehive Cluster. It has several different names. Some astrologers are more likely to call it Praesaepe or Praesaepe. And then some astrologers call it Melef. Okay, Melef, I think it was registered in the Benedict Bradley's fixed star program, Starlight. And most people recognize its name as a beehive cluster, beehive cluster. So for astrologer, this is more important, as you know, where it is on the zodiac. Well, this stars is really very, very close to ecliptic. It located at 7 degrees Leo, 43 minutes today. Well, it is a open cluster in Cancer constellation. Okay, if you are experienced astrologer, you already know why it is located at the tropical zodiac at the 7 degree Leo, but it is belong to Cancer constellation, or some people like they call it crab. Well, call it whatever you like. It's Cancer constellation for me. Okay, well, Elvis Aberdeen mentioned about these cluster. Some people call it mangers, supposed to be the the birthplace of Jesus in the Christian mythology. So for the Christianity, they believe this place is the manger where Jesus was born. So there was a donkey here. So two major stars nearby has called Asulus borealis and Asulus australis. So that's mean North donkey and the South donkey, or North axis or South axis. Okay, so this area, but very interestingly, according Elvis Aberdeen, she mentioned about it is the in the Chinese mythology, this area called the spirit of ancestors. And if it's conjunct the moon, will particularly experience some death in the country or something. Is that true? Well, yes. So that's why I decided to talk about this cluster on the Halloween day. It is indeed related to ancestor and ghost. Indeed, its name in the Chinese astrology and even today astronomy's name, we still call it the ghost mansion. So in ancient Chinese astrology, this whole constellation and especially the beehive class has to be called as the Gui Shu, ghost mansion. It also has another name called Gui Yu, the chariot of ghosts. So whole Messier 44 beehive cluster is the area of the ghost mansion, and the cluster itself has been described as the ghost or the body of a ghost inside of a chariot. So don't get me wrong, this is how the ancient Chinese, because we worship the ancestor, the spirit or ghost of the ancestors has the chance to coming back to receive our respect, our prayer, listen our prayer, and help us. Or if there is something unfinished business, usually are related to this. And also in several Chinese historical record, especially when planets go past by Beehive Cluster, are usually related to the uh, slaughter incident in the court, in the royal court. So usually it has a a little bit of bad luck or bad things that happen around the royal palace. But it is also very interesting. Some astrologer mentioned that the Beehive Cluster has another Chinese name called 鸡尸, the pile-up corpse. Yes, indeed, this is the area of the we call it a pile-up of a corpse, or the energy of pile-up of a corpse, 鸡尸气. Okay, now if you are familiar with astrology, you probably heard about some book mentioned, I think mostly Alan's book, mentioned there are two name, two cluster share the same name. Another one, I think, as he mentioned the algo, or some people mentioned about the algo is also named 鸡尸 pile of corpse. Now I have to clarify. Well, the exact 鸡尸 in the Perseus constellation is not located at Algol. It's nearby Algol rather than in the Algol. Okay, Algol's Chinese name is 大灵武, the fifth stars of great tomb. So so that is a tomb rather than the ghost or the pile up corpse, dead body itself. Okay, but it's also interesting in the Chinese view why we call it a chariot of the ghost. Okay, let's come back to here. Well, this is the tiny photo I took several years ago. Well, yeah, 2018. The constellation of the Cancer, and you can see the tiny cluster in the middle, and there is a 4-star around it. Let me add it a little bit mark here. So here we are. You have the constellation of the Cancer. Look like, yes, a crab spreads its claw and the legs. And also you can see the 4-star here. Here is the chariot, a 4-wheel or 4-corner of chariot. And then in the middle, that's the pile of corpse. Okay, so this is the ghost mentioned in Chinese astronomy. But let's go back. But it is not just like this. But have you seen it has a 4 corners, but something inside? But Chinese astrology also talking about is called 天目, the eye of sky, the eye in the sky. So it has a meaning of to investigate. So it's like a eye of the sky watching you, keep an eye on you. I'm watching you. You do anything good, anything bad, it will to, report to God or goddess. It is very, very interesting. Also, if I remember correctly, in Babylonian astrology, this area of sky around the Cancer constellation is also has been described the entering of the ghost or entering of the ancestor coming from sky. I think this is the point very close to the sun's position around the solstice. So it has, has the meaning to relate it to the heaven and the sky, between heaven and the sky. So this cluster has a very, very interesting combination. In Chinese view or in the Babylonians view, it's related to ancestor, it's related to the ghost, it related to murder, slaughter, and bloodbath, that kind of things. Well, but it also related to worship to ancestors, pray to ancestors. However, in Western mythology, we already mentioned about it has to be seen as the birthplace of Jesus, the image of the place where Jesus was born. So it has a sacred life, a sacred meaning of life and worship the life on the earth, on the material world. So if we look at together, it has an important meaning related to the life and the death, and they are all part of our life. Is the circle of life, with beginning with the life, and our physical body will pause or finish around the day's time, but our life beginning continue. If you believe in the spiritual realm, we probably continue exist, or maybe some people will talk about reincarnation. However, when we focus on this, we were thinking about the life itself, respect life, and honor the life and the nature, but also keep an eye on something. So this is a very interesting location about the sky and related to the ghost, ancestor, or life and the death we celebrated. Also, so quite interesting. If you have any planet, locate around 7-degree Leo, around 7-degree Leo, then you probably can say, I have planet conjunct Beehive Cluster. You say, wait a minute, Rod. You've been making fuss about it. You always say align rather than say conjunct. Why this time you say conjunct? Yes, okay. If you're first time on my program, okay. Most astrologers were talking about a planet conjunct fixed stars. But me and a few of my friends, including Christian Skinner, include Christian Connie, we are talking about alignment, because when we calculate the planet position on the ecliptic or zodiac, it is only on that line, on that plane, as 23 above, 23 below. This is the area and the motorway, a motorway of the planet. They all move up and down around this line. In this map, in this sky map, you can see I mark it as the red line. Here is ecliptic, the motorway, the path of the sun and the planet. Then you will notice here is the Beehive Cluster, Messier 44. So you will notice, yes, this cluster is indeed not far from the ecliptic. Okay, not far from the ecliptic. Especially, it will rising on the day of Halloween. It will rising around 10 to 10 p.m. And by the morning of 6 o'clock, it will reach the zenith, the highest position. Okay, and then it was set around 2 p.m. So it is interesting. You can go to see, especially if you are in the countryside or something, after 11 o'clock or something, midnight, you can go to see the Beehive Cluster in the sky. It's a beautiful object to see. Or you have the telescope or binocular would do. You can see the beautiful, beautiful Beehive Cluster linked with that energy related to life force itself, celebration of life. the abundance of life. Talking about the abundance, well, it was quite interesting in Chinese meaning. This the 4 star of the 4 corner of the ghost chariot, also have a meaning of accumulation, and they are good things. They are good things. Either accumulation of money or silk or food or something. But the only central part is accumulation of a dead body. Anyway, I don't want to mention it again. But this is very interesting. It related, most people, we see it as related to the focus on the abundance of a life, abundance of the nature, love of the nature, love of the life itself, nature itself. So, well, if you have any planet or your angle ascendant MCDCIC is located around here, 7 degree Leo, then you probably can channeling this energy. Today I have an example. So here is very interesting. Here is King Charles III, our current king, was born on the 14th of November 1984 at 9 p.m. 40 minutes. So if you check Stellarium, the sky map, you will notice the moment he was born, Beehive Cluster was right on the ascendant just coming up. Well, this cluster is very close to the ecliptic. We can guess his ascendant is not far from the, Leo rising. Yeah, then yes, if you use the chart, you will see his ascendant is 5 degree Leo, but when he was born, the Beehive cluster Praesaepe was 6 degree 29 minutes. Looks like still below the horizon. Yes, as I already mentioned, some astrologer like me or Christian Conning or Benedict Brady, when we study the fixed stars, we don't really only rely on the eclipse degree, because the stars rising, setting, or culminating time are slightly different from the eclipse degree, because not every stars are on the ecliptic. Suppose we have ecliptic here. This star up on the north, they were rising on a different time. Okay, so here we have example. Even the Beehive cluster is so close. It's so close to the ecliptic. But when you check the chart, the Beehive cluster is below the horizon. But if you check the star map, the Beehive cluster is already on the horizon. So this is another reason we'd like to encourage everyone, when you study fixed stars, don't forget also check the star map. For example, Stellarium is a very, very good tool. Okay. And so that's why I mentioned about the Charles. Sorry about the name still on the Prince, King Charles III. Well, because it's very interesting. I know most people talk about um, Andrew is no longer Prince brother, but I like to talk about Halloween, and I like to talk about Praesaepe, because we know King Charles III, he is a big fan of organic food, and he owned a farm, and he's so proud of it. He's so proud of agriculture. And I believe this has something to do, of course, this has something to do with this Praesaepe as the rising stars. As when he was born, the Praesaepe was right on the east horizon when he was born. Of course, nevertheless, he got a moon in Taurus and conjunct the North Node. This is another thing with the food, with the agriculture, and well known by the people with his public image. Okay, so this is a very, very interesting fixed star to talk about, especially I think today is a Halloween, and I was this is usually the fifth week of the month give me some headache because I never know what should I talking about. But mostly I like to talk about stars, fixed stars, or astronomy. I hope you enjoy today's program. I have a few things to share with you. The first, Academy of Astrology, our online conference this year is between 5th to 7th of December, and you probably already heard about it. And this year we have a great lineup. We have Sue Tompkins going to talk about secondary progression. Geraldine Mara going to talk about the solar arc direction. Hakan is going to talk about zodiac releasing. Ling Bell is also going to talk about the outer planet transiting. And Christine Skinner going to mention about the European economic between 2026 to 2032. Dear friend Keenan going to talk about the geodetic map, how to use it in the mundane astrology. My dear friend Leanne and Mandy and Wendy Stacy are all going to talk about the recent transit. How are we going to prepare for it? It is suitable for the beginner. So please join us. At this moment, we still have an early bird price, £80, and the early price would end around the 10th of November. Okay, so hurry up, go to register. Well, there's another important news I'm going to share with you. I just received an invitation from Nightlight Astrology School. Thanks for the team and invite me to give a presentation about a retrograde and stationary planet. I call it Pose and Reflect. Last time when I gave this presentation at the AA conference student track, all the participants were so happy about it. I know it's a simple topic. Most of astrology can talk about the retrograde and the stationary planet. But I'm so pleased that was after I gave my presentation, a lot of audience come to me say, thank you for using this clear and simple method to help us understand what exactly is stationary and the retrograde. So this technique I'm going to share on the 1st of February, 1 p.m. I think is the East Coast time in United States. And together I join Stormie Grace and Alexandra Blair to give this speaker series at the Nightlight School, Nightlight Astrology School. So, and it's free. So please go to find Nightlight School, Nightlight Astrology School website. Okay, I will put it in my comment area, and then go to register. It's free. So, and if you couldn't attend it, you will be able to see the replay. So go to join that, and happy Halloween. And next week will be the first week of November. So I'm expecting to join by Monday and Marcus talk about the monthly transit. All right, see you next month. Bye bye.